Hello everyone, Maelstrom here. So, since now Aether Sparks getting the Reforge, now it doesn't matter if you can reach skill level 20 under 2 hours, you're not gonna be able to Reforge, since under that 2 hours, most likely you get near 0 sparks. So, in this video, I will present 3 solutions for this problem. First, progressive farming. Since without bounty tokens, it takes about 3.5 hours to get max level, then you still have to farm sparks. Why wouldn't you do the two things same time? So, this farming method, you queue up on an island which is maximum 3 to 5 level above you, then check navigation bar for event. If there is no event, then move to the next instance. I call this method word hopping. I already made a video about this, but now this is even more relevant. I did this method for 1 hour and here are the results. I managed to find 12 events. From these 12 events, I got 29 Aether Sparks, total 61 cell cores, 40,030 rams, 8,000 XP without bounty, so from level 9 to 15, and 383 merits. After opening the cores, here's the updated loot, and these cores contain total 120 ace chips, which is exactly enough to rush a +3 and a +2 cells. In this method, I was farming mid-level Blaze Islands with Frost Weapon with a DPS build, since I was slightly under-leveled, so I needed damage for a faster event clear. Also with this method, you're farming higher level islands, and those gives more rams, cores and merits, while each event gives the same amount of sparks as low level island events. And with this, we are moving to the second farming method, pure spark farming. This method requires near max skill level. You do the same as previously, but on the lowest level islands, since the amount of Aether Sparks from events doesn't scale, so you don't get more or less based on the event level. You can farm easy events for fast sparks. Since only sparks doesn't scale, you will end up with 1/3 as much other loots like cores, rams, merits than doing the first method. For this, I used a half damage, half mobility build. I'm using Chainblades because it can hit both behemoths during dual round and clear fauna much faster. I'm also using Malkarion Chainblade because you can teleport to the event when you are 150 meters away from it. This is important because there were many cases I got to the event in time, but I couldn't hit the last behemoth, so I got no reward. I'm using Grace since even with the teleport, I have to run about 300 meters to get to the furthest event, which often happens. Grace gives attack speed, so it can also help in combat. For mobility, I'm also using Sprinter, which is a trial cell, but you can just use Swift instead for more move speed. Shark Lantern also for both move speed and attack speed for faster event clear. With this method, I got 43 Aether Sparks. So you can either use the first method and level up as you farm events, which yields more rams, merits and ace chips, or just level up fast, then farm low level islands purely for sparks. But there's a third method, the obvious method. I don't recommend paying for it, but let's look at the other methods first. With the first method, you're probably gonna enjoy the game less because you will lose the freedom of farming. You are forced to farm only events all the time. Compared to the normal farming, with this method, you will reach level 20 about 2 hours later. But you don't have to pay for it. With the second method, you will have much more freedom because you can farm whatever island and whatever behemoth you want, or just do escalation till you reach level 20, but after that you have to spend 2 hours of farming low level events, which doesn't give much other rewards like rams, merits and cell cores, and you also not gonna get skill XP. This method also making Reforge progress 2 hours longer, but also you don't have to pay for it. And there's the third method, paying for it. Since it takes 2 hours longer, you have to decide, does $2 worth of platinum worth less or more than 2 hours of your gameplay? Also, in some regions, the price of the hunt pass is cheaper, so they can actually getting back more platinum than they paying. So they keep stacking platinum. For example, in some region, hunt pass costs 500 plat and they getting back 950. They also getting the sparks cheaper, so that's actually 600 sparks worth of platinum. I already did many suggestions and gave tons of feedbacks to the developers, and they will listen, so I'm sure this Aether Spark problem will be resolved somehow, either buffing the Aether Spark gain or making an alternative method for it, like transfusing Aether dust from cells to make sparks. But as I see on Reddit, players want the sparks removed from the game, but that doesn't solve anything, because the developers want you to play Hunting Grounds, so they force you to do it with Aether Sparks. I really don't want to start an argument about this, but for me this system looking fine just needs more balancing. Also, currently some of the events bugged and doesn't give event rewards, but thankfully I reported it as soon as possible, so we're getting it fixed when Frost Excursion will be released. So that's it for now. Don't forget to join my Discord for the Hunt Pass giveaways, and dropping a like also helps. Thank you guys for watching. See ya!